I think you're gonna enjoy this one. So I tell you what, let's don't waste any time.
Spray. Relief.
Do you do this too? Does a pencil in your hand start you sketching on any old piece of paper?
The inside.
For clothes that Tristan Bold 3 Detergent Plus Fabric Softener.
Excitement. An adventure. All these and more can be yours in the wonderful world of art.
Handsome, charming, specially marked boxes of Monster cereals. No, inside one of these free wax lips, fangs, or mustaches, they just uncover the real you.
Art Instruction Schools has been successfully training artists since 1914.
They made me draw.
I'll give you trouble. Pop your piece around the track if you get
Nails and more nails.
Just another little dab of our Betty White. Now, let's just dance in a happy little sky. And remember, this is your world. You get to make and break the rules here. Sweet baby Jesus.
Well, hello there. I am Rungo Pop, and we are live streaming right now at 10:15 p.m. on the West Coast. Yeah, checking everything right now. Looks like I'm live on YouTube. Supposed to be live on Twitter and Facebook, but we'll see about that. Got chat open, the chat screen open, and let's see. Look at this chat overlay. Oh, interesting. So you could see people chatting on the screen while I live stream. This is different. I've streamed in StreamYard before, but I'm gonna take that off there. Stream in StreamYard, but Restream had a better deal on streaming. So I'm gonna take this off real quick. Yeah, Restream had a better deal on streaming stuff. Better deal because I wanted to put my own logo, stuff like that. And yeah, so I went with Restream. First live stream using Restream. We'll see how that goes. I guess it doesn't really show people watching, I guess, really. Huh? That's how it is. Yeah, so we're gonna be, I don't know what we're doing. You can see on my screen right here. That's not what I wanted to do. Switch this up right there. I got my iPad open. Got some Madcap Wrestling right now. If you haven't checked out I should have put this. I should have put the links in the description below. But yeah, you could look it up. Madcap Wrestling. It's on Webtoons. It's on Tapas. It's on its own website, madcapwrestling.online. And yeah, it's my webcomic. It's my comic book that I am working. It's an ongoing series about this guy goes into Madcap Wrestling. It's basically Dragon Ball Z meets WWE, a fighting comic book in the world of wrestling. But if you're not a fan of wrestling, don't let that hesitate you, because this is a hero story arc. It's this story of Max Power climbing his way and trying to become the Madcap Wrestling champion, just like the character from One Piece trying to become the best pirate, the greatest pirate in the world. Max's goal in Madcap Wrestling is to become the Madcap Wrestling champion, the best wrestler in the world. So yeah, that's what I'm working on today. But I figured before we get into it, I'll probably do a little of the thumbnailing, and maybe I'll get into Red Bee. I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming for. I'm on the West Coast, so we are streaming. We're streaming late. It's like everywhere else is already 3 hours ahead of time or more. So yeah. But this time works for me, so this is what we got. You got to work with what you got. Before we get into streaming, let's switch this over here and show you some cool things I picked up real quick. If you haven't seen my comic book and manga pickup, it's backwards. I wonder if I could flip the screen. I probably could. I'll check that out later. Comic book and manga pickup video I did a couple weeks ago or a week ago. I got the second volume of this because I couldn't find the first volume. I found the first volume, and this is a sports manga called Blue Lock. Yeah, it's about this guy. It's about a group of guys actually trying to become the Japan soccer players, and they're put through the test in this rigorous training put on by this person, and they calls it egotism, and they basically have to think of themselves as the best in the world in order to become the best in the world. But like I said, I'm doing Madcap Wrestling. It's a sports comic, so I'm really getting into sports manga right now. I found this. I actually found I don't have it close nearby, but I found The Prince of Tennis, which is, I guess, an older sports manga. I think it was published like in early 2000s. So yeah, that is pretty cool. And then check this bad boy out. I've been really getting into the old comic book strip artists, and I got the Milton Caniff visual biography. And basically, this thing is pretty awesome. It takes you through his story, basically, of his journey in art and getting his strips getting syndicated with Terry and the Pirates, and then on to Steve Canyon. I really am interested in getting into that story because he was Terry and the Pirates is like, I mean, so many people, especially if you're into comic books and cartooning, know of Terry and the Pirates, that it's pretty awesome. That it's a mainstay in the comic strip world. But he created it, but he wanted more control. He wanted more everything. Basically, Terry and the Pirates, even though he created it, belonged to the syndicate who was publishing it. So he got an offer from a different place to create a new IP, basically, Steve Canyon, and he went over there and created that. But he took creative control. He wanted editorial control, all this good stuff, which basically plays into creators' rights. So I'm really interested in checking this out. And then last but not least, I got a paper protector. It's not really a paper protector, paper screen protector. I've used one in the past. I didn't really like the way it worked for my iPad. It worked okay for the iPad, but I should say for the Apple Pencil, it felt really rough, and it felt like I was wearing out the nib really fast. So I got a different one. I haven't tried this one before. And I've also got the Paperlike, which I really wanted to try, but it's super expensive. It's like $40. That's nuts. So what I'm going to do is I bought it anyways, and I tried this one. I think this is like 10 or 12 bucks. I'm going to try both of them, and then I will post a review of it here on my channel. And yeah, we'll see how it go. Anyways, enough with that stuff. Let's get to drawing, shall we? So yeah. This is Madcap Wrestling. Let's see. What I've been doing recently is working on some more thumbnails for the second issue. I really need to get in control of this. That's not the second issue. I really need to get in control of thumbnailing this out, because I'm getting really past the point of catching up to what I have currently drawn. As far as posting all my updates. So I need to hustle and get some more stuff done. And as you can see, I got some really rough thumbnail breakdowns here of what's going to happen in chapter 2, which is basically issue 2. Each issue is basically a chapter in my book, about 30 pages or so. And so I kind of break it down, and I break it down as to who's talking or what's going on in that scene. And so now I have my right brushes on here. And yeah, so basically, this is what I'm doing here. We got Max talking to Behemoth. Behemoth is kind of like mine. Let's see if I get a better picture of him. You can kind of see him right there. This guy. He's my not avatar. What's the word? He's my copy of Andre the Giant. He's the huge old timer in Madcap Wrestling, who's been wrestling since Max was a little kid. And he's a super huge giant, 9 feet tall, and he's a terror in the ring, but he's actually a pretty cool guy when you're nice to him. And what is happening here in this scene is Max is kind of laid up because of something that's going to happen at the end of issue 1. He basically gets attacked while he's in the ring after he's celebrating, and he gets attacked, and so he's not totally damaged. What is this? Look, I got a Twitch bot already. Look at you guys, I got a Twitch bot. Hey, I want to offer a promotion off your channel. Viewers, followers, chat bots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed. You guys, the quality is guaranteed. The quality is guaranteed. Auto on, incredibly flexible, convenient order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Go to dodgehype.com. Wow. I mean, how can you pass that up? I think the only thing that would be better is if at Blocklist is if that was a Nigerian prince offering me $1 million. That would have been even better. Sorry, buddy. Anyways, where was I? I was talking about Max. He's laid up here. He's in the trainer's room. He was just attacked after, I should say, just viciously attacked after getting attacked after his win in the ring, and Behemoth is kind of, being friends with him. Max in issue 1, you think he thinks he's made a pretty good friend, and then it turns out maybe not so much, but Behemoth kind of befriends a new kid on the block. So that's what I'm thumbnailing out right now. And I just kind of keep it really loose. Like, I try not to get too crazy. My stuff doesn't have a whole lot of crazy details as it is, but especially in the thumbnails, I'm just trying to keep it loose. I'm trying to break it down how I want it to look on the screen and on the page. That's another thing when I'm drawing these things. I know I break it down and I split it all up so it fits on Webtoons and Topless, but when I draw it, I'm always drawing for the page first, because I prefer my comics in comic book page and when they get printed out. So that's when I focus on first. And then if I have to overdraw something, like it goes past the panel, then I'll do that, because it's very easy to do that digitally. And I just do that, and I save it, and I like kind of cover it over with a mask or something so that it still works as a comic book page, and I still have those pieces that I can show when I break it down for the Webtoons and Topless episodes. So let's see, Max is going to be explaining. Basically, he's kind of explaining right now. Behemoth came into the room, checking on Max. Hey, how you doing, kid? Look pretty bad out there. And he's doing okay, and Max is being super, super happy right now. It's super nice, because Behemoth was one of his favorites. Not his all-time favorite. Max's all-time favorite is Captain Amazo, as we'll get to see further along in this story. But Behemoth is one of his favorites, and he's telling him he used to watch him when he was little, when he was in 7th grade, and that makes Behemoth feel super old. So there's that. This is and it's kind of, I don't know, I don't want to call it boring, but it's hard to do these pages very put a lot of excitement in them when there's not a whole lot going on. It's basically a Talking Heads page, and I have to try to make a Talking Heads page exciting. Like, how do you do that with just 2 people talking? I try to think of different camera angles. The more difficult the camera angle, the more difficult the drawing, basically. So at the same hand, I don't want to make it too hard, and then I don't want to make it too confusing either, because if you try to do a weird angle from the drawing, it might confuse the readers, like, oh, what is happening in this panel, especially if you don't pull it off right. And I think I draw okay, but I'm not the most awesomest drawer in the world. So I might confuse my reader, and I don't want that to happen. Once you confuse the reader, you might lose him for the rest of the story, or at least for the rest of the scene. All right, let's see. So let's see. Probably do a big panel down here with Behemoth talking to him. But anyways. And it's really not so much, like I said, it's not so much about getting the entire thing looking great. It's really about trying to make sure you kind of have a cool, you want to have a cool design. Of course, the story comes first, obviously, but you want to have a cool design of like, to keep the reader engaged. If you like I said, if you're just looking at a bunch of heads talking back and forth, nothing's happening. I mean, what is that going to do? It's not going to do anything. It's going to be like, you might as well just be reading a novel then. And I read novels, but this is a comic book. This is a visual medium. You want to keep the reader engaged as well as keep telling a good story. At least that's what I think you should do. But what do I know? Yeah, so I think that'll be pretty good for that page, and I'll probably move this stuff down here. So what I really like about using Procreate, you can just move stuff around pretty easy, scale it. And I'll probably move this head over here, kind of probably in the middle of the page. I'll move this down here, and then once that's done, yeah, something like that. And then I'll eventually copy that over to the main page I'm working on. And yeah, I will try to make that a little bit better. Am I drawing on the wrong layer? I am. Oh well. All right, so now, let's see. So let's get to this next page. So I'm going to skip over those because that's still a little bit more talking heads. But here we got the following week, Max Power. He's taking on Berserker will be his next challenger. Oh, this is a cool thing. Let me show this to anybody out there watching. There's a wrong button I hit again. I ordered this thing off of eBay. Bunch of cool reference for basically for wrestling and fighting, and obviously you can find a bunch of cool stuff. You can find the poses and everything for wrestling online, or even if you check out videos of professional wrestlers and their matches, you can get it. But this is really cool, and I'm going to be using this a lot in Madcap Wrestling. You can see here. Awesome different poses of different wrestling moves. Got a Boston Crab right there. Very cool. So I'm definitely planning on using this in my continuing of Madcap Wrestling. Switch this back there. And if you haven't been reading Madcap Wrestling, so far we got Max in his first match versus El Pollo Loco, which is my Lucha Libre wrestler guy. And he's kind of a jerk to Max, if I'm being honest. He's a jerk, but he's Max is able to fight him pretty well. And then, but in this next update here, he's going to be really having a good go at this new guy, Berserker. Berserker, as the announcers will say when the page is completed. Berserker's been on a bit of a losing streak, so Max is no schlub, as they say. He knows his way around a ring, and that combined with Berserker not having the greatest fighting record lately in the wrestling world, Max is having a pretty easy time of him until his enemy for this story arc shows up. And of course, if you know professional wrestling, that can be very costly. You can be on a roll in the wrestling ring, and yeah, on a roll in the wrestling ring, and the bad guy shows up, starts distracting you, and next thing you know, you're losing. So hopefully that doesn't happen to Max here. Got that. I'll probably have him have a Berserker and kind of a headlock right here. Reaching out. So yeah, this is pretty much what I'm doing. Let's see. It can get really confusing after a while when you got all these scribbly lines everywhere. That's why I kind of treat it like a regular pen and pencil on a piece of paper, where I'm scribbling, and once I start losing the line, I start erasing a little bit so I can find the line again, almost like if I'm working on regular paper, but it can be very easy to lose your lines there. Alright. Got him in a sleeper hold there. I'll have the ref over here checking on him. I don't know if anyone is a pro wrestling fan, but they just had the Royal Rumble right now. I didn't get to watch all of it, but I did catch the highlights, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, I did. I liked Cody Rhodes coming back. I do kind of wish Cody Rhodes would have stayed in AEW, and I don't know if finish what he started is the right phrase. Who knows how much longer he's planning on wrestling, but it would have been cool to see him keep going there longer. But I kind of get it. He wanted to go back and try to win the big one that his brother and his dad never did. So hopefully he can. It seems like he's going to, even though that's a long ways away. You never know what's going to happen. Ref asking you, are you okay? I'll put little notes in here like this, just so I remember, because I don't actually have this written down in my scripts. Give up. I just say, Max is battling his opponent, the Berserker, and but I don't really have the commands, ref asking if they give up or get back in the ring, or illegal move, stuff like that. But when I am thumbnailing it out, that's when I kind of get to it and start doing that. Alright, so let's see here. Have him do a wrestling move here. I think I'm going to have him do a backbreaker. So I think backbreaker is going to be one of his staples. He does that in Chapter 1 against El Pollo Loco. Nails a nice backbreaker on him. Let's see, what else was there? The storyline with Roman Reigns and WWE at WrestleMania, and the whole thing with Jay and Sammy and Kevin Owens, that came out pretty good, and I'm interested to see what they do with that, if they're able to follow through, because that storyline, geez, that's been going on for what? How many? Ever since Roman became the tribal chief, basically. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, mostly with Jay and everything. I need to Google it. I don't know. Was Jay the first one, or was Jimmy the first one to join Roman Reigns? I can't remember. One of them, and then the other brother came and tried to dissuade him and talk sense, but it didn't work out. But now, all right. So we got a backbreaker going on here. And then, like I said, Max has complete control in this match. He's going to hit the backbreaker. He might hit his max power punch next, but he can't do it. He can't hit his finishing maneuver because out from the stage area. I have, if you've seen the first few episodes, I have like a big Titantron. I don't know what I'm going to call it, though. Can't call it. I mean, I guess you could call it Titantron, but I mean, that's what WWE calls it. I think I'm going to call it the mega screen or something like that. But out from the stage, from backstage, out comes the bad guy. The heel, as they say. if I'm trying not to break well, no, is that breaking kayfabe? If you call someone a babyface and a heel, I think that is breaking kayfabe. Because kayfabe is keeping the illusion up. So you wouldn't call them heel. You would just say that dastardly villain, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, he's walking out. Man, and as I'm doing this right now, I'm embellishing the stage so much more than I originally did in the first chapter, which is already updated. But you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. You get better. At least that's the hope, right? You get better as you keep drawing, as you keep going. Over here I'll have the announcers talking. You'll see their speech balloons. What's he doing out here? This is uncalled for. Yeah, that's something they would say. Because why would he come out? Huh? Out. This is he has no place out here, ringside, watching Max Power. He has no place out there, but he's coming anyways. So we're gonna be outside the ring right here. Max is gonna see him. 1, 2, 3 ring ropes. From inside the ring, Max is gonna see him. Yeah, I should have had this better planned out. But, first live stream, what are you going to do? But yeah, next time I'll have the links to this. I mean, it's easy enough to find it. Madcap Wrestling. There aren't very many wrestling comics on Webtoons and Tapas. And madcapwrestling.online, where you can read the regular pages instead of you don't want to read them split up like on Webtoons. But next time I'll have it set up to have the links in the description. So Max is going to be on the... Oh, that's a short ring, isn't it? Let's make that a little bit longer. Yeah, I might get enough thumbnails done tonight. Maybe I'll actually work on one of these pages. And he's going to be outside, being a little smug about it. I'm like, what? I'm just coming out to see your match. What's wrong, Max? I can't just come out and watch your match. Anyways, wrestling's... I think wrestling is great. I got into it when I was little. And if you look past all the... the theatrics, I guess you would call it. If you look past all that, because there is a lot of... It's a show. It's a circus, basically. But if you look past all that and you find the stories... And granted, some of the stories are super lame. And they are pointless. But then there are other stories that are really cool. And they go for a long time. And if you get into those stories and you find them, it can really be a great medium, I guess you would call it, right? Because they are they're putting on a show. They are a certain type of artist, as well as being athletes for all the crazy they have to do. Yeah, so that's going to be kind of a bigger panel there. Max is going to be yelling, "Get out of here, man! Get out of here!" And I specifically designed his hair because, like I said, Dragon Ball Z, right? Even though it's not it's not even... I call it Dragon. There are light powers used in this. Like they do normal wrestling, but for their finishing move in the wrestling, it's like super powered up. They're supercharged. And that's why I deliberately kind of made his hair kind of like... It almost reminds someone of a Super Saiyan if they're into Dragon Ball Z. All right. Listening how I should put some music on. I don't know if the music. Let's see. Well, I wonder what kind of music there is. Videos. Like I said, this is the first time I'm using Restream for this. There's a video clips. There's background. There is new. Let's see. Background music. There's chill, there's down tempo, there's lounge, there's hip hop, there's lo-fi, chill hop. What the heck is chill hop? Future pop, ambient. I don't know if ambient. Let's do. I don't know. Like alternative, light rock, easy listening. Why do they have Christmas music up here still? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know, let's try chill. And I have no idea. Basically, because I'm trying to. I don't have multi monitors. Let's see. All right, and the stream. Okay, great. Yeah, the stream's delayed, so let's see what it sounds like when I'll get back to drawing here. Max is yelling at him. Get out of here, man. Oh, I don't really like. Turn it lower. Let's see. What did I put? I put chill. Let's try hip hop. Nah, not a fan of that one either. Well, this is these are horrible choices for music. Like, come on, stream. I paid for this. Come on, give me better. It's not bad, I guess. Anyways. Okay. So he's yelling at him, and then of course he gets distracted by the bad guy coming out to the ring, and Berserker takes advantage. So you'll probably have him do like some type of overhand, double axe overhand smash on him. That one is going to be a little tricky. It's going to be a little tricky. I have to find someone hitting someone over there with a double axe handle smash. And then let's see. Because it's kind of tricky a little bit that way, because you know he's in a fight and now he's getting he just got blindsided by his opponent. So like what should he do? Like the guy hit him in the back of the head, and now should Max fall to the ground? Should he you know what? I'm gonna have him. He's gonna be on one knee, grabbing the back of his head. Yeah, I think that worked better, because he's not totally out. It's just didn't knock him out with that one blindside attack, but he's about to. So I don't know if this is going to be interesting for anyone out there watching breakdowns of thumbnails and how a comic book page comes together. You know what would be kind of cool? I don't know if anyone's ever seen that, what's it called? I want to say mukbang, but that's not mukbang. Mukbang is when they eat on screen, right? It's Mon Bin. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's where they show the manga artists in Japan, and like they interview them and they show their process and everything. I've seen a few of those episodes and it's pretty cool, but I kind of wish it would show me, like, I love the inside baseball type stuff, you know, like you go in and you see the nuts and bolts of how things get made, especially in comic books, like the underdrawings. When I went to see the Charles Schultz Museum, I saw all, like, a bunch of the original artwork there, and it was very cool. And I took a lot of pictures really up close on some of the artworks so that you could see his underdrawings. Or there was one where he posted or he drew a character writing on the fence their name, and in the original drawing on the page, it showed the underdrawing of Charles Schultz actually drew the character on one side, and it looks like for whatever reason he didn't want him on there, so he erased it and he drew the character on the other side. And I don't know, that kind of stuff when it comes to making artwork is just really, really cool to me, and I like to see other people's process. So I don't know if anyone out there is going to enjoy this, but it is what it is. Putting it out there. Alright, so Berserker's going to be behind him. And let's see, he's going to be kicking him. It's not a good kick. That is not a good kick. Oh, you know what? He's going to come down with another. Another double axe handle smash. And I just thought of a name. It's going to be called the Berserker Axe Handle, or the Berserker Smash. That's a good wrestling move name. The Berserker Smash. The Berserker Smash Handle. He's going to be... I kind of have his layout kind of sketched in a sketchbook. Not a layout. His design sketched in a sketchbook. And it's very kind of Viking, barbarian-esque. Kind of wears like a loincloth with like fur boots and fur gauntlets around his wrists and everything. He's coming down with a big smash over the top. Probably have Max's head kind of cut off in the panel here. Because he just came down really hard on him with a double axe smash. Berserker smash. This will be fun to draw too, because it's going to have a lot of foreshortening in it, and I have no idea how that's going to come out. Anybody else do sound effects on the jaw? Anyways, how long have I been going for? Man, 40 minutes now? All right. And of course, this page, to tell the complete story on the page, of course, the bad guy came out. The opponent Max was facing took advantage of it. Max will be laying in the ring over here. 2, 3. He's going to be all dozed out. Not dozed out, but like not knocked out completely, but he's going to be looking at the bad guy. It's like, look what you did. What you did, man. Cut me, Mick. Cut me. Cut me, Mick. Cut me. And the bad guy's going to be laughing his head off. Anyways, yeah, and so that is that's kind of how I lay out a page, pretty much. I don't know. Looks okay, I guess. And I'll take this and I'll copy that, put it on the full, like this is a full comic page, but I've just broken it down into different 9-panel grids, so each panel is kind of my thumbnails for the comic. And I'll take this, copy that, and I'll just blow it up. Kind of how I'll show you right here, do an example of how I do it, and I'll just blow it up over, whoops, wrong one, through the whole screen. So then you have that, right? And then you just kind of refine it even more and more, breaking it down a little bit better, getting the more details in there, getting the perspective right, all that good stuff that comes with designing a comic book page. And yeah, that's how it works. That's how my process works, at least. Anyways, yeah, I guess I'll end it there for the night. Quick stream, first stream on Restream. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, I guess. I don't know. And maybe next time I won't do thumbnails, maybe I'll draw an actual page. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, and let's see, check out this little outro of Bob Ross I got.
And I thank you, more than anyone, for enjoying and watching our show. We sincerely hope that we teach you something here. And once again, let us hear from you. Let us know what you want to see. And on behalf of all of us here, we really hope to see you again in the very near future. We wish you the absolute best that life has to offer. Once again, have a super day. God bless. We look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.
Por eso vivo contento de verlo como una estrella de televisión del oeste. Cantidad de modelos de lujo con puertas y capotes que se abren. ¡Vía libre!